it's Lo, welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the BoSidin laser hair removal device. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. So I got this BoSidin laser hair removal device about a month ago, maybe like 5 weeks ago at this point that I've been using it. And so far I'm obsessed. So in this video, I'm going to review all about the device, what comes with it, how to use it, and the results that I've been seeing so far. First things first, I did get this on Amazon and I have a link for it down below. And when you click on that link, you'll see that it's a little expensive. So it's over $300. It was about $380, but there's actually a coupon that you can apply. I applied the coupon and it gave me $80 off. When I sent a link to one of my coworkers who had been curious about it, it actually had a coupon for $100 off. And I know that when you're buying this for an at-home laser treatment and there are cheaper ones on the market, you might think like, why am I going to spend that much? Like, that's so much money up front. So before even getting into the product, I just want to break down how this is actually cheaper than going to getting laser hair removal done professionally. About almost 2 years ago, because it was pre-panorama, I was getting laser hair removal treatments on my bikini area. You know, every 6 to 8 weeks, you have to drive all the way over there. I had to drive to the far end of Santa Monica and schedule my day around getting there in the morning, doing this, sometimes having to wait for the nurse to actually go in there and do it all, go through the whole process there, and then wipe all of the goo off of me and come home and not be able to work out or really do anything because of the treatment that I got done. For 6 treatments, it was about $300 for my bikini area. And then because in the middle of that, a panorama happened, so I couldn't go in for like over 6 months. So by that point, because I'd only done a few sessions, I ended up having to get another 6 sessions, which was another over $300. So already paid for 2 of these in just those sessions. Finally finished them a few months ago, and there's still some hairs that would be poking out. And they say, well, you can come back now once every 6 months or once every year just for upkeep. But that's still, even if I go back every 6 months and I buy another package for my Brazilian, which is another over $300, but now I've paid for like 3 of these, and that's just for one area of my body. When you add it up, to do all of these sessions and you buy like the 3 package bundle or the 6 package bundle, but really you need like 12, and it's really expensive. Plus having to drive wherever you need to go, having to find parking, pay for parking, all these other little annoying things, whereas this you can now do at home. So yes, it is a little on the pricier end, but when you really break it down and think about it, it's pretty cheap to pay for. So once you do pull the trigger and purchase this for yourself, it comes in just a few days because it's Amazon, so of course it does. And they also have it in like a really pretty green color. And the first thing that I want to notice is just how small it is. It's the height of my head. And I have a big head, but that's not too big. In the photos, for some reason, I thought it was gonna be like some massive device, like my blow dryer size. So I was pleasantly surprised when this came, and it was pretty small. Also the box, like the actual box of the packaging is really small, but the box that Amazon shipped it in was huge. I got that at my front door and I was like, where am I supposed to store this thing? It's super lightweight, and in it you're of course getting the device itself, the little outlet. So you plug this in here at the bottom. Boop, plug it into the wall. It also comes with glasses. So some of them don't come with glasses because they're like, oh, it's safe. Where it's just like, okay, even though this is safer than like the lasers that they do use at the salons, I still don't want that in my eyes, my freshly new LASIK'd eyes. I don't need that. So it comes with the glasses, which other companies that don't come with the glasses, now you're paying, yeah, it's, the device itself may be cheaper, but now you're paying like 30 extra bucks for these. It also comes with its own razor, which is nice, but I haven't used it because I have the flamingo razor, so I've just been using this little guy. And then it also comes with these little attachments. So you can use it on your face. This is the SR attachment. It's like this little red one, and it just like magnetizes on there. And apparently the SR setting, when you set it on the back, which I'll get to in a second, helps with like facial rejuvenation, and it's almost like getting a little facial. You have all these other attachments that you can put over the window. So the first time that I did it, I honestly did not read the instruction manual, and I just put on the attachments. Like this one's the underarm, so I popped it on, I did my underarms. It has one for legs, bikini area, and arms, and they're all slightly different. The windows are slightly different sizes. it's hard to tell with the reflection, but they're all like slightly different colors as well. And I still felt the heat. I still felt that it was doing something and it still worked. But then I was reading the instructions and looking back at reviews. It says generally you don't need to use an attachment for regular hair removal treatments. However, when doing an additional treatment or using the SR function, please install a proper attachment before choosing the mode. Realized after my first time of using that you are supposed to use it without any attachment. And this is also like a cooling window, so it also cools while it does it, because if you've ever gotten laser hair removal done, it burns and it stings. So this cooling does help a little bit, and I actually like haven't felt any pain with it really. Maybe like in a few sensitive spots, because I am doing some patches in my bikini area that just like never went away from getting it professionally done. After you do your regular hair removal treatment, if you need a little extra oomph, the next day you can follow it up with the corresponding window to make it more effective, stronger. I don't really know, but I really haven't been using this because I have been happy with my results as is. So the device itself, again, pretty small size. Here's the window, and you can actually rotate it. That way you can get all of the angles, which has been helpful, like surprisingly helpful. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna need to rotate it that much, but in doing my legs and like wanting to get certain parts of my legs, even my pits, it's been super, super helpful. On the back here, this is the button that you use to select the mode. So it has a little photo that corresponds with arms, legs, pits, face, bikini, SR, which again is that like facial rejuvenation part. And then it has a little electric bolt symbol and then the little snowflake symbol. So the snowflake one is always on because of that cooling part, and you just tap through and select which area that you are doing or the closest one to that area. Up here at the top is a little turning nozzle, so it's always set to off. And then there's 6 different settings, so you just rotate it around, and once you rotate it, that turns the device on when it's plugged in, and you can just choose the intensity, starting off with the lowest intensity, seeing what you're comfortable with, and then working your way up if you need to. And then this is the actual like button to do a zap. Once there's darkness around it, that's when it will zap. If I had it plugged in and turned on and I tried zapping it like this, because there's nothing covering it, it actually won't zap, and which is really good, because if you're like moving it around, like you don't want to accidentally zap your face or like your eyes or anywhere else. So I think that's like a really good safety feature, so you're not like accidentally zapping. And once it is on, you can actually hold down this front button, and that's when this little symbol of the electric bolt in the little circle will go on, and that just means it's continuous zapping. So that way you can hold it at the end here, so that way you don't accidentally touch either of these buttons, and you can just like go along and it'll zap, move, zap, and you don't have to worry about constantly hitting it. And I'm sorry, I lifted my foot up and I realized that it is super dusty, and they look weird because they're cold feet, so they look a little purpley. My only thing with the actual build of it itself is the location of these 2 buttons. So if I'm holding it back here and doing my own individual zaps, I have accidentally hit this button, which has altered the mode that it's in, which I don't think that's like too much of an issue, but it's just kind of annoying. Or if I'm like holding it and I'm doing the like continuous zapping, that way I don't have to, and I'm holding it up here, I might accidentally hit that button and then it'll turn off the continuous zapping. So then all of a sudden you're like holding it there and it's not zapping, and you're like, oh, because I accidentally turned it off. My recommendation is just holding it at the end, so that way your hand isn't going to accidentally hit those buttons. So button location is a little like, could be better, but like I think like if this button was up here, it wouldn't be an issue. But other than that, the build of it is really fine. It looks really sleek. So where I've been using it the last 5 weeks is my mustache and chin area, which I've seen great results in, and I've been doing it 2 times a week with no attachment on there. And for that, I just get a little tinkle razor, which you can also get a set of that on Amazon. I'll have them linked down below if you're interested in. And those are like the ones that I use for dermaplaning, and I just like shave around my mustache and my chin. And if you've watched previous videos, especially ones where I don't do makeup, like my what I eat in a days, or if like my recent Merit one where I start off with no makeup on, you may have seen this little bump here on my chin. And it's a little red right now because I did just tinkle razor, because I'm gonna show you my face. But in that spot, I've had a chin dreadlock, and it will keep growing, and I'll tweeze it, but it won't like come out all the way, just like the top of it will come out. So, and then it like sinks in. So because of like tweezing it and my tweeze, sometimes skin will come off. So it's because this like big scar. And I'm like, tweezing is not the solution to this. I don't know how to get rid of this thick chin dread. This, by aggressively zapping here multiple times a week, has gotten rid of the chin dread. It hasn't come back. It's looking great. It's actually like the bump itself has gotten a little bit smaller because now I'm not aggressively tweezing it. It's still a scar, so I just need to put on like vitamin E oil or like some scar treatment to like get rid of that. But it's been going down because like that hair isn't trying to come out. I've also been doing my pits, which I used to get professionally done maybe like 8 years ago or so. And then it would start to grow back because I was like, I can't keep going. Like I'm in Orange going to college. I have to keep driving all the way up to my parents' house, which wasn't far, but to like schedule that, like it was just annoying to do. And then it was expensive too. And then it would keep growing back. So since doing that, it never grew back like super thick, and it was always like a little bit slower to grow back, but I was still like shaving every 4 days. It's barely growing back. There's like a few spots where there'd be like a little bit of stubble, but again, super thin, barely growing in. I've also been doing my bikini area because after doing those 12 expensive treatments, I still had some hairs growing in. So there's like a few spots. There's like this one little spot where there's like a few thicker hairs that it's just, I don't know, they're immune to being zapped. But other than that, looking good. So I've been doing pits maybe like twice a week too, and then also bikini area twice a week, just because it did say like this first like 8 weeks is when you're gonna see like the most results and we should be most consistent. And then after 8 to 10 weeks, once you're like happy with your results, then to do it like every other to just once a month for maintenance. So again, still doing all that maintenance, but paying for just one machine, one time. And then I've also been doing my legs. And now I understand why they charge so much for doing your legs at the salon, because it gets exhausting. I've actually had to break up, and I've only been doing it once a week because I only shave my legs once a week. In high school, I was shaving them like every single day. It was a problem. Throughout like the end of high school into college, would like spread it out to like train my leg hair that like you don't need to grow as much. So it doesn't, and I've only for like the last 5 years or so shaved once a week. So because of that, I just do the laser on my legs once a week, but I've been breaking it up into 2 sections, or else it does take me like over an hour. So I'll do like my knees down, knees to ankles for like one time, and then at another time I'll do my thighs, because this window, well, the device, all of this, and you might think that's the window. The window itself is a little small, so it's like the movement that you have to do is like just little movements to make sure you're getting everything, because if you move too much from section to section, you might miss the little bit in between. They're all of the devices that I've looked at have like pretty small windows, so it's not like it's a design thing with this one in particular. They're all gonna be around the same size. So regardless of which device you're looking at, if it's not even this one that you're interested in, that's just still like legs are gonna take a while. Once I do finish my legs, I do wanna move on to my arms, my lower back, which on a trip with my family, my sister said, "Oof, I always thought I had a hairy lower back, but like seeing yours, mine's not that bad." Awesome. My hairy little sister just told me that I'm hairier, which makes her feel good about herself, which okay, but I'm gonna zap mine off soon. So who's gonna be the hairy one now? And going back to legs, just before I show you the device in action, while I am still shaving once a week, by the time this end of the week comes around, it's a lot less. Like usually I'm like, oh, I should shave at like day 5, but like I'll wait. But now like a full week comes around, even a little over a week, like 8 days if I'm feeling lazy, but it's not noticeable. Like what my hair would grow into on day 4 is now my day 7 or 8. So while there is still leg hair growing, it's not as bad. It's not as fast. It's a little bit thinner. I haven't seen like no leg hair at all, but I have seen it be like slower and thinner, which is progress. So now getting into it, I'm just going to zap my face and my pits, and then it's also great because right after I can put on deodorant, like my skin isn't irritated or inflamed. It might look a little red, but it doesn't hurt at all. I know like when you get it professionally done, especially in my bikini area, they're like no working out, like nothing that would like rub and irritate the area because it's so sensitive. Like I can zap away and then work out and put on deodorant after, and like I haven't had any irritation from it, which is huge because I'm a person with really sensitive skin. So like if I can handle it, anyone can handle it. Another really good thing is that this has like unlimited flashes. I know that that's an issue with some of the other devices, and if anything does happen to it, there is a warranty that you can do. I think it's just a year-long warranty. I'm not sure, but they do offer a pretty good warranty. One thing that I will point out before I start doing it is that once it flashes, like you'll see like that there's a red flash coming out of this side. We also see a really bright white flash coming out from over here. So I thought like, oh no, is mine defective? What's going on? So I actually emailed them and they said that it's totally normal. So it's kind of blinding, but you can also like easily turn it to where it's not facing you, or just look away and kind of guesstimate where your hair is. Here we are up close and personal. My cool glasses. So right now it's set to off, and I'm gonna put it onto 4. So once you hear the fan going, that's to obviously keep the device cool and will help with the cooling system over here, which you instantly feel get like super cold. So I'm just gonna put it to 4. As you can see, the little snowflake light is on, which means that the cooling system is on. And I'm going to put it on the little face icon, and I'm just gonna zap away. I don't like doing the continuous zapping for my face, just since it's like a sensitive area, but just doing slight movements. Of course, shaving beforehand, so I did my tinkle razor to my face. I also shaved any fuzz that's in my armpits before this, just as you would at a professional place. You want to turn it? I turn it so I can get right around my jawline, get into that part where that little dreadlock once lived. Sometimes if it does get a follicle, or like there is a hair that maybe you miss shaving, you might smell like a slight hair burning smell. You can see it's a little red. Before I got this, I was telling my mom how I was looking into these, and she was very anti me getting one. She was like, just go to a professional place. But I was like, that's so expensive. Like, it's such a waste of money in the end, because like we've done it so many times and like you see all her hair there. So I got this anyway. I don't really know why she was concerned. Maybe it was like because of safety. It's the same thing. Like I paid for laser hair removal at a salon. It does also say in the directions to like not do around your eyes. So I haven't done my forehead. My forehead's not like too bad anyway. My sideburns also aren't too bad. I think if like they were a little bit thicker, maybe I would do like a little bit here. It works on certain hair types and skin tones, which is the same even if you do get it professionally done. If you have fair hair and dark skin, it's like that contrast is really good for making it work the best. If you have like hair and skin with similar color, like either darker skin with darker hair or lighter skin with lighter hair, it might not be as effective. You might just need to use it more. And also the thicker the hair, that means like the thicker the follicle, so the easier it is to zap. So in certain spots you might see more progress than in others, but me being like medium olive skin tone with naturally dark hair, it works really well. And I go over it multiple times. Now I'm going to move on to my pits. I'm over here on the pit one. Just gonna keep it on 4 and really getting in here. And if I want, I can see that the electric one, so now I'm not zapping, I'm not hitting the button, it's just auto zapping. And it will only auto zap as long as there's skin around. It won't auto zap if I like have it over here. Again, just going over it multiple times, especially in spots where I've noticed more hair growth, where they've been a bit stubborn. Alright, seems good. Another thing, especially if you're doing a bigger area like your legs, is that sometimes, especially if you have the continuous zapping going, it won't zap, and that's just because it needs to like cool the system down a little bit. So, and sometimes like might turn the zapping thing off, so you just like have to remove it from your skin, let it cool a bit, 5-10 seconds, and then once you put it back on your skin, it'll be good to go. But just like after 15 to 20 minutes, it's kind of like, okay, I need a break. Which you might at that point too. So just to wrap this up before my camera actually dies on me, that is my review of the BoSidin at-home laser hair removal device. That's my experience of it and what I think of it so far. And of course, I've only been using it for 5 weeks, so I will be hopefully seeing even more results and also doing it just on even more parts of my body. So far, I'm really enjoying it, and I definitely think it's worth the investment, especially when you do compare it to getting professional laser hair removal sessions done across your body for multiple sessions, multiple packages. So I definitely think it's worth it. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you think of this device and what else you want to see more of on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.